Hola, ¿qué tal a todos? Bienvenidos, soy Pablo de la GEMA y estamos aquí en EVO Japón, en el booth de 2XKO de parte de Riot Games. Nos dio un espacio para poder mostrar un poco del juego y platicar sobre él. Y tenemos acá a Caroline Montano, que es Game Designer del juego, para platicar un poco sobre 2XKO que se viene pronto. Caroline, how are you? Thank you for the time.
I'm great, thanks. I'm happy to be here.
So, I really appreciate you being here and talking with us. Could you tell me a little bit about your role and what you do at Riot and 2XKO?
Sure, yeah. I'm a game designer. I designed Illaoi, who was featured at EVO Japan this time. And yeah, I make champions. I basically make their hitboxes. I decide how much damage they do, and
You got the sauce.
I do get the sauce sometimes. Yeah, I'm not the best Illaoi player, but I am the person who made her happen, I guess. Yeah.
So I know that Illaoi is like the main offering here in 2XKO, the newest player released. Could you talk to me a little bit about that character and maybe like what you were thinking of, or what was the process while you were developing that?
Sure, yeah. So Illaoi is a champion in League of Legends. She's a top laner. I actually mained her in League of Legends, and we really brought some of her. We took the idea of like her W can activate tentacles and just made a whole kit around that. Yeah, and so there's a whole aspect of her kit that's like the spirit pulling out part that is really just featured in the ultimate. But we wanted to take those tentacles and make them into a cool fighting game like reality. Yeah.
Great to hear. I know that there's a bunch of characters in the Runeterra League of Legends roster. I would like to maybe first know about what you guys think about the current existing characters, like what made you think of considering those, like Darius, Echo, etc.
I'm actually not a part of the people who make the decision on who gets to get featured, but of the champions that are featured, I'm very happy that Illaoi is one of them. Yeah.
Okay, and what about like, so when you get the call, like maybe we're doing this character, like what's maybe some of the process that you're thinking of when you're designing this, like making the hitboxes and all the mechanics around the character?
Yeah, so very first thing that we usually do is we study up on all the lore, we study up on what the character's all about, and then we formulate some goals and guardrails around what that character should be. So in Illaoi's case, we didn't want her to be a public character, we wanted her to be the one who has the power, and like the tentacles are there to support her. There are things like we don't want her to be super fast. We don't want her to have an air dash. Like she doesn't seem like the archetype to have an air dash. So we kind of narrow down the archetypes. We narrow down kind of core mechanics, and then we make the kit around that.
Great to hear. And maybe talking about some of like the other design elements, like how do you think about how it synergizes with the rest of the existing roster? For example, like when it comes with Echo, like already all the characters are already out. Like how do you think about that when bringing this into the mix?
Yeah, so when it came to Illaoi's assists, was really thinking about like how can these tentacles do something for her partner, because they're just kind of there and they're just benefiting her. So we added in mechanics like hard knockdowns that the ally does onto a tentacle will actually grab them and put them into another combo. So that didn't exist right in the beginning, but it was something that we developed when we were like, okay, do the tentacles go away when Illaoi leaves, or do they stay on the stage? And then when we decided they stay on the stage, then we were like, okay, so what can your ally do with it? Otherwise it's like kind of just annoying in there, right?
I feel that. What about the super, like the ultimate move? I know that it's very flashy, that's a big cutscene, like a lot of people are making memes online about it. What can you tell me about that?
Sure, the super was like inspired by one of the cinematics is Nagakaboro's is kind of like misfortune's like trying to like swim away from it, and the test of spirit is one of her main like duties as like a priestess of Nagakaboro's, and so we were like, okay, it's normally a regular gameplay mechanic in League. Let's try that first. So we tried making a little spirit pop out, and that didn't work out. We tried to make it a level 1 super where it like, okay, maybe it's an install, and then like it didn't quite work out that way either. So we were like, okay, let's just focus her entire gameplay around the tentacles, and then we'll make that part like a really flashy cinematic ultimate.
We were talking before the interview that you were also in EVO Vegas. There was also a 2XKO presence there. What can you tell me about what has changed from there to now for 2XKO?
Oh yeah, I mean obviously Illaoi's in it, but there are some like different UI changes. You might have noticed that like there's like we took a lot of feedback from the players of like, oh, there's we want to know more about when there's an assist available, or we want to make it more obvious whose super meter is present, and so there are a lot of like little UI changes that that have been really beneficial, and I guess like in terms of just like little like tweaks and things that wouldn't be noticed by I guess a casual player, but like the more serious ones are like, oh, it's the longer you get combo, the more dynamic save meter you get back. It's like small details like that that are very very beneficial.
And what can you speak to about maybe the sentiment so far here at EVO Japan, and also like what are you looking to maybe take away from the presence of 2XKO here at the event?
Yeah, I mean, I've been overwhelmed by how positively we've been received here. It's like I haven't heard like negative comments at all, which is like so surprising to me. I'm like, okay, I'm just waiting for somebody to tell me it's like Illai's broken, nerf Illaoi or something like that. But so far it's been like really, really positive. I've been really happy with everybody like commenting on what's been going on, and yeah, I think that it's been going well.
All right. So to wrap up maybe the questions here, what are you expecting people to take away from this event or the experience here with Illaoi releasing and also like being here at EVO Japan?
Yeah, I guess the main thing to take away is it's just really exciting to see more champions being shown to people. Like Illaoi's been in development. I think an article was released about her like what 2 years ago, and we finally get to talk about her. So it's just I think just look forward to more.
Those hitboxes take a long minute.
What's that?
Those hitboxes take a hot minute to make.
Yeah, they do.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to go with some questions from the people on Twitter. We asked the people in the GEMA to talk about it. So I'm going to take a moment here to bring those up. So first, people are asking for Amumu. So obviously you're not going to speak. You're not going to speak to maybe what characters are coming in, but like when you hear people like, oh, I want this character, or we're looking forward to this character, like what are you thinking about, or what's some of like maybe the things that you guys are thinking in the team when that happens?
Yeah, I mean, I love Amumu. I obviously can't talk about whether or not Amumu is going to be a part of the roster, but we hope to be live for a really long time, right? So maybe in the future. That's really all I can say.
That works. Thank you very much. Anything you could speak to how you guys are thinking about maybe like like rank system, battle mechanics, and like terms of online play and stuff like that? Is that something that you guys are thinking about? Anything you could share in that regard?
I mean, we're obviously very serious about competitive, but I guess I can't really release any details on the ranks.
That's fair enough. What about maybe like what are you guys thinking so far in terms of like first to what matches? First to 2, first to 3? Like for example here, like I know there's an arcade here for 2XKO. Like how much you guys are thinking? Okay, first to 2 and that's it, or first to 3? Anything you're thinking about that right now?
I think that the main thing is we want to hear from you all what you want, and so we don't have the detail, or at least I don't have the details on that. But yeah, as each game is first to 2 in the rounds, and so if you want to go by games, and then the TOs can really decide how they want to do the tournaments. Yeah.
That's a good answer. I'll take that. All right. Could you speak to maybe, I know that before that this was Project L and now it's 2XKO. Is there anything that you could speak to maybe like, like the branding change, the name, etc.?
Yeah, I know that there was a lot of thought that was put into it, and we went through like several different rounds of like, we all submitted ideas for names, and it was kind of like everybody liked it internally, and so that's what it kind of came out to.
Is there any abbreviation you guys use internally, maybe like 2X, 2KO, anything that you could say about that?
A lot of people have been saying different stuff. I've been saying 2X. That's I feel like it's the easiest version to say.
All right, I'll use that then. All right. And anything you could speak to about maybe what system you guys are developing for? I know that, for example, League of Legends is mainly a game for PC, so I guess that will be the expectation for this one as well?
Yeah, I think that this part might already be on a YouTube video somewhere, but we're on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X.
All right. For example, we've got the game here. Is there anything you could speak to on what system the game is running?
Oh, these ones are on PlayStation 5. Yeah,
okay.
You can see the PS5 controllers and stuff like that.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, well, that's about wraps it from us. Caroline, I want to thank you so much for the time. Any last message that you may have for the Latin American community, or anything you would like to say to wrap up this interview? You share with us a lot, and I really appreciate it, so thank you so much.
Oh, yeah, I hope you all enjoy the game. I'm really glad that y'all are here, and thank you so much for asking these questions.
Thank you very much. Gracias a todos. Eso fue lo que tenemos para ustedes. Nos vemos para la próxima edición con más info de 2XKO. Cámara, banda.